Today our new lesson is about decimal. So today we have to start a new chapter, chapter 4, decimal numbers. We have finished from the fractions. So we took in grade 4, what are the decimal numbers, how do we write them in letters, and how do we write the expanded form of any decimal numbers. Let's revise them together. Before we start, do you know what is a decimal number? Please, the one who knows, raise your hands and give me decimal numbers. Yeah. What is a decimal number? Give me any decimal number as an example. Jad.
4.3.
4.3, excellent. حسين سأسوق.
3.2.
Excellent. أمال فقيه.
9.3.
Excellent, and so on. So, decimal numbers
Yes,
like 4.3, 3.2, 9.3, and so on, all of them are composed of 3 parts. So, wait ya Jawad, listen. A decimal number is composed of 3 parts, a whole part, a decimal point, and a decimal part. What is the whole part? The whole part is the part to the left side of the point. For example, when I say 4.3, okay? 4.3, 4 is the whole part. It's to the left side of the point. The point in the middle, we name it decimal point. Will 3, we call it what? Decimal part, اللي هي to the right side of the point. So, any decimal number is composed of 3 parts. A whole part, a decimal point, and a decimal part. The whole part back to the left side of the point. Then we have decimal point. Then we have a part that is to the right side of the point. Okay? So let's repeat.
Okay.
The whole part. What is the whole part?
A whole part is the number to the left side of the
To the left side of the point. Excellent. And the decimal part, where?
To the right side.
To the right side of the point. Excellent. Type. For example, when I say 12.91, which part is the whole part here?
12.
12. And which part is the decimal part? 91. Excellent. So 91 here to the right side, it's the decimal part. 12 to the left side, it's the whole part. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now,
فيك تعيد بس شوي.
I will repeat, Hassan. We said that any decimal number, ya Hassan, is composed of 3 parts. A whole part, a decimal point, and a decimal part. دايما الwhole part هي to the left side of the point. For example, 4.3, 4 هي الwhole part. ال 3 اللي هي to the right side of the point, we name it decimal part. Okay? So, Hussein Najm, let me say for example, 129.87. What is the whole part, ya Hussein Najm?
129.
Excellent. شو هي الديسيمال part?
87.
87. That's it. So is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
طيب.
Yes.
Now we have to start with the place value chart. Teacher, هيدا the place value chart, you have to study it. It's so important in order to know the place value of each digit in the whole part and the place value of each digit in the decimal part. Yeah, let's start. We said that any decimal number is composed of 2 parts, a whole part or decimal part. Okay? هيدي هي whole part اللي هي to the left side of the point. هيدي هي decimal point. والرايت سايد هو الديسيمال بارت. اوكي طيب هلا بدنا نعرف نحن كل ديجيت بالهول بارت شو البليس فاليو اللي لها وكل ديجيت بالديسيمال بارت كمان شو البليس فاليو اللي لها. For example, when I say 1298.5637, okay? What is the whole part here in this decimal number?
1,298.
طيب, what is the
The
decimal part?
decimal point is
5,987.
Excellent. طيب, أنا الهدف من البليس فاليو تشارت أعرف البليس فاليو لكل ديجيت بالهول بارت ولكل ديجيت بالديسيمال بارت. يعني we should know what is the place value of 8, 9, 2, 1 in the whole part, then 5, 6, 3, 7 in the decimal part. Yeah. دايما بالهول بارت يا تيتشر أنا بشتغلها كأنه عم بشتغل whole number عادي. نحن إذا معنا whole number for example 209 دايما نحن بالبليس value we start with what? What is the place value of 9? Ones, then then
100.
100,000.
عندنا بعد digits we have to continue like what?
Thousands.
Thousands.
and so on. So دايما نحن بالwhole part look just at the whole part. الwhole part نحن بنبلش من أول digit اللي هي دغري beside the decimal point. I can't start with 1, we have to start with 8. The two digits that are next to the decimal point. بالwhole part you have to start with 8. بالdecimal part you have to start with 5. Okay? The two digits that are beside the decimal point from each side. طيب بالwhole part دايما نحن بنبلش ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000 and so on. Okay? So بالwhole part you have to start with what? Ones, then tens, then 100, then 1,000 and so on. Okay? As if it's a whole number. But now if we are looking at the decimal part, it's different with decimal part. Come on, we have to start with the first digit that is beside the decimal point. Which digit here comes next to the decimal point? Here 5. In order to know the place value of 5 with decimal part, yeah, teacher, here there is no ones. I can't say ones. There is no ones. We start with 10. Yeah, Jad, we start with 10, then we have to place TH like this at decimal part. So no ones. We start with 10th, 100th, يعني ال 100 صارت 100th, 1000 صارت 1000th. Then if we have 10,000, it becomes 10,000th, 100,000th, and so on. Just we have to place TH and skip the ones, there is no ones. Yes, Jad.
Teacher, I don't understand.
Jad, what do you want?
Can you repeat?
Why did we in the decimal part? Why did we put many? Not no. We put
But 5, not
Just
4.
for the
the whole we stop.
لا يا نحن يا جاد انا عم بعطي اكزامبل. نحن هون مش فينا نوقف عند 1000، فينا نكفي كمان 10,000 100,000 مليون، فينا نكفي قد ما بدنا هون. اوكي دايما يا امال.
I don't understand.
Why what? Yes, Jad.
Why is there also no ones?
No ones. ليش؟ لأنه دايما نحن الديسيمال بارت هي represents a fraction. الفراكشن نحن إذا عندنا مثلا 3 over 5. How do we write it in letters? 3 over 5.
3.5.
لا 3 fifths. 3 fifths. 2 over 6. 2 sixths. For this reason we have to write TH. Okay?
No, not TH. Why is there no
No
one?
ones.
There is no ones لأن
We started directly with the
with tens.
we started
لأنه يا جاد نحن لما نحكي عن decimal number دايما بنكون عم نحكي عن fractions لما يكون الدينومينيتور 10. يعني we divide any shape into 10 equal parts or 100 or 1000. اوكي كرمال هيك بنقول نحن 10 100,000 يعني teacher دايما نحن بنحكي على decimal number لما نكون عم نعمل divide لأني shape into 10 equal parts or 100 يعني بتكون هي divided by 10 10 100 1000 so نحن بنقول 10th 100th 1000th if we divide this shape into 10 equal parts so we have to say 10th if into 100 we have 100 equal parts we have to say 100th 1000th and so on اللي هن multiples of 10 okay طيب teacher you have to study the place you have to study them دايما بالwhole part نحن بنبلش ones tens 100,000 بالديسيمال بارت ما في عندنا ones بنبلش tenth 100th 1000th and so on
أنا فهمت إنه
Yes,
إذا كان في عنا 1000 بالwhole number part بنحولها بديسيمال thousand.
ايه مع تي اتش مع تي اتش yes yes
Like this.
yes طيب for example let me say 2854.7836 هيدي هي الهول بارت وهيدي هي الديسيمال بارت
Decimal part.
طيب let's start with أنا دايما حبلش بالتو digits that are next to the decimal point يعني أنا حبلش بالفور وبالسفن
50
بالهول بارت حبلش بالفور وبالديسيمال بارت I will start from 7 طيب
ناخذ بس رقم واحد.
yes رنيم كفل let's start with the whole part الفور what is the place value of 4 ones ones what is the place value of 5
Then
tens 8 100 2
thousand.
1000 and so on like this الفور هي الوانز digit الفايف هي التنز الايت هي ال100 والتو هي ال1000 طيب now if we are looking at the decimal part what is the place value of 7
Tens.
tenth what is the place value of 8
100.
100 what is the place value of 3
Thousand.
what is the place value of 6
Thousand.
and so on like this just you have to study them بالwhole part ببلش ones tens 100,000 بالديسيمال part no ones we start with tenth 100th 1000th and so on clear
Miss, I still not. I'm
Still,
not
you-
why we start with 10.
طيب on Monday يا جاد I will show you a square okay I will bring for you shapes in order to know why did we write here 10
Teacher, I have a question.
yes يا مهدي
I'm Hassan Khalil. Teacher,
Khalil,
the
sorry.
electricity turned off. Can you repeat?
so but I can't waste more time يا حسام
Okay, I'll watch the sunset.
طيب let me repeat listen we said يا حسام here that we have to study this place value chart we said that each decimal number is composed of two parts a whole part هي to the left side of the point to the right side we call it decimal part كل digit بالwhole part نحن هنعملها هلا شو البليس value اللي إلها لما اقول place value معناتها is it ones or tens or 100 يا حسام دايما بالwhole part انا بعتبرها هي كهول نمبر عادي بلش بالones بعدين tens بعدين 100 بعدين 1000 اوكي بينما بالديسيمال بارت ما بنبلش بالones there is no ones دايما ببلش بال10 10 we place th دايما بالديسيمال بارت يعني ال10 بتصير tenth ال100 بتصير 100th then 1000th and so on طيب
Yeah.
now هيدا البليس value chart you have to study it please in order to know what is the place value of each digit in a decimal number طيب
I wrote it
now
down on the book.
how do we write a decimal numbers in letters how do we write it in letters for example if we have 6.3 how do we write it in letters first step we write the whole part what is the whole part here
Also 6.
So we write 6.
6.
We write 6. Then the point
This amount.
the point is written as and. So it has to be and. So 6 and.
Okay.
Then I read the decimal part. What is the decimal part here?
3.
3.
So I have to write 3.
10.
Okay, 6 and 3. Then I look. What is the place value of 3?
10.
10. So we have to say 6 and 3/10. Or you can say, if we have just one digit in the decimal part, you have to say at the end 10th. If we have 2 digits in the decimal part, you have to say 100th. إذا عندنا 3 digits, we have to say what?
1000.
Thousandth, and so on. So in order to write any decimal numbers, any decimal number in letters, first we write the whole part. It's 6. The point is written as and. Then we write the decimal part. It's 3. Then we check how many digits do we have in the decimal part? 1 digit. So we have to say 10th or 100th or 1000th.
10.
10. That's it. 10. Type 0.2. Yusuf Bazdoon, how do we write it in letters?
0 and 2 tenths.
Excellent. So 0 and 2 tenths. Why tenths, yeah, Yusuf?
Because
We can say, bravo Jad, we can say 2 tenths or 2 tenths. لما يكون the whole part 0, no need to write 0 and. ما هي it's nothing. Quickly we can write 2 tenths. Okay?
The
Yes.
point
Jawad
is
Shamsuddin. Yes, the point هي and. How do we write 10.3 in letters, يا جواد?
10 and
Yes.
10 and 3
Tenths. Excellent. لأنه 3 just one digit. So 10 and 3 tenths. Bravo جواد.
tenths.
Rasha, how do we write 0.29 in letters?
0 and 29 and 29 wait.
Yes, 29 what?
29 and
Is it,
100.
how many digits do we have in the decimal part, يا Rasha?
200.
2 digits.
29.
عندنا 29. Can I say tenths? No, so we have to say what?
100.
100. برافو. So لما يكون عندنا 2 digits, we have to say 100th. طيب زهرة عبد الرضا.
Yes.
Or we can skip 0 and we can write it just 2900. How do we write?
Can do it.
Zahra, how do we write 10.31 in letters?
Yes.
10
And 31. And 31.
31 what?
100.
100.
100th. Why 100th?
Because there are 2 digits.
2 digits in the decimal part, 3 and 1.
Yes.
Okay. Is it clear how do we write decimal numbers in letters?
Yes. It's easy.
Now our question is about opposite. I will give you now the letter form. You will know the decimal number. For example, 8 and 3/10. How do we write the decimal number? Look how.
8.30.
8.3. Proud of you. Proud of you. Bravo.
3.
So, 8, I will write it in digits. 8. 8 means what?
Decimal
Point. Type.
point.
10th means how many digits do we have in the decimal part? 1. Which digit? Which which digit?
3.
3.
So it's 8.3. So Muhammad Ajjawi. Muhammad Ajjawi, you said first 8.30. No, yeah, teacher. 3/10. 10th means that just one digit in the decimal part. Okay?
Okay.
طيب Hassan Jaber. How do we write 7/10? How do we write 7/10 as a decimal number? 0.
0.7.
Batul, listen. 0.7. Excellent. طيب Hassan, why did you write 0 point?
Because
There is no.
There's no
There is no and. No and means no whole part. So the whole part is 0. Okay?
Yes.
So then we write 7 because 10th means just one digit we have in the decimal part. It's 7. Okay? Clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, how do we write? So is it clear? How do we change the decimal numbers? How do we write them in letters? Or how do we change the letter form to a decimal number?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How do we change the decimal numbers to fractions? To fractions. Look how. How do we write 0.4 as a fraction? In order to write it as a fraction, I will convert it first to the word form. How do we write 0.4 in letters?
4/10 or 0.4 or 0 and
4/10.
4/10. Bravo. طيب. 4/10. 4/10. How do we write it as a
4/10.
fraction?
4/10.
Excellent. 4/10.
4/10.
That's it. So دايما حتى حول اي decimal number لا fraction اول شيء بكتبه in letters بعدين بحوله لفراكشن. يعني 0.4 we write it as 0 and 4/10 or we can write it just 4/10. 4/10 means 4 out of 10. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
I
ya
have a
Hassan.
question. Here
Yes,
you
ask
put
me.
like the fraction, not 4.10.
No. 4/10 هي 4/10.
Yeah.
How do we
4/10.
write fractions and letters? We copy the numerator, it's 4. We write the denominator, it's 10 with th. So 4/10.
Teacher,
Yes,
I
teacher.
have a question.
Yes.
We can write it 4.10.
لا, it's 4/10. It's 0.4.
Okay.
Teacher, I have a question.
Wait, Jawad will ask me first. Yes, Jawad.
Teacher, how do we have to know? You said when we have to put it and letters. How do you have to? يعني, teacher, can I say it for you in Arabic?
Yes.
Miss, كيف نعرف يعني هونيك باللترز انت قلتي لنا انه فينا نقولها 4/10 يعني فينا نحطها بالفراكشن.
لا معنا السؤال حسب السؤال يا جواد. انا بس اقول لك بالسؤال اكتبها in letters you have to say 4/10. لما اقول لك كفراكشن بتكتبها 4/10.
اوكي.
طيب يلا.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Teacher.
Now, yes يا أسيل.
Teacher.
Yes, Asil.
It's now it's 4 now over 4. 0.4.
لا.
Yeah.
It's 4/10. It's 0.4.
No, teacher. Yes, I mean 0.4.
Yes.
Yes, but if we remove the 0 and put another number, it will change.
Yes, it will change. إذا كان مثلا 3.4. Okay?
Yes.
3.4. How do we write it in letters? 3 and 4 what?
10.
10. So how do we write it now? We will write, important question يا أسيل. 3 and 4/10. Wait a minute.
Becomes 3/4. Your sound is deep. Because she go. I live in bed. Yeah.
I think it becomes a
Check.
3 over 40.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Okay.
someone
When I say, for example, 3.4.
It becomes a 3 over
3.4. Okay, how do we write it in letters?
3 and 4
3 and 4 10.
3 and 4 tenths. Okay. 3 and 4 tenths. How do we write it as a fraction? We will write 3 plus 4 over 10.
Good morning.
I know it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
So yeah,
morning.
3 plus
Thank you,
4 over
حبيبي.
10.
Okay.
اوكي انا هلا هشرحها هيدي بعدين، خلينا بس هلا بالفراكشن. اوكي then I will explain how do we add them.
Okay.
Yeah. Now Jad,
Yes.
how do we write 0.05 as a fraction? First
Here
let's write it
the
in letters.
electricity was gone.
Okay محمد.
500.
Muhammad, we were explaining how do we write decimal numbers as fractions. We said first we have to write them in letters, then change them to fraction.
Okay.
يلا يا جاد, tell us how do we write 0.05 in letters?
500.
500. Okay. 500. How do we write it as a fraction?
5 over 100.
5 over 100. Excellent. That's it. So 0.05 here the same as 5 over 100. Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
طيب. Is it clear? طيب, I will repeat Amal. Amal, 0.05. We said in order to write any decimal number in letters, first we write the whole part 0. The point is written as and. Then the decimal part here is
5.
5. Okay. And we
So
have to
it's
say
0.
the place value of 5. What is the place value of 5? Tenth or
The
hundredth?
decimal part.
As it's tenth or hundredth place value. What?
Hundredth.
Tenth or hundredth?
100.
Hundredth.
100 because
Second,
2 digits.
2 digits. Okay, 100. Type. We said that 0 and we can skip it. No need to write it. We can quickly say just 500. Okay?
Yes.
Type. 500. How do we write it as a fraction? Numerator 5 with denominator what?
We write 5.
5 up with
100.
denominator
100.
100.
500.
So 5 over
100.
100. That's it. 500 means 5 over 100. Okay, Amal?
The 0 become 100.
أي zero يا أمال؟ No. 100.
The zero after the
300
five.
means over 100. طب
Okay,
another-
thank you. Thank you, Madam.
Welcome, أستاذ عادل.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Another way now يا أمال. Look, we
Goodbye.
can do it like this. 0.05.
Goodbye.
We can write 5, we write it up over. We count. How many digits do we have in the decimal part?
2 digits.
2 digits means 100.
2 digits.
إذا كان عندنا just 1 digit means 10.
So like 0 and 5 are 2 zeros. with
Yes,
one,
now
100.
I understand it.
Okay.
Can I answer?
Miss?
Now, yes,
Miss,
Jad.
in the decimal part, when I ask you about why we don't write ones, it's like the decimal point is the ones digit. Is the
لا
ones.
لا 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 مش هيك ابدا ابدا يا جاد. لا decimal point ما خاصة. It's not the ones for sure. طيب انا قلت
No,
لكم
miss, I mean.
ايه جاد. look why.
No.
طيب انا هشرحها هلا. اسمعوا شوي. اذا نحن عندنا سكوير اوكي.
Goodbye.
انا هيدا سكوير عملت له ديفايد